Hi guys, Zaki with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 4v4 match on the map Red Alert. I'm starting in the bottom left hand corner playing as the Allies. Now the strategy I used in this match was heavily influenced by the previous match. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look quickly at what happened there. In the previous game we'd been on the same map. On the bottom it had been Mickey Mate, Reaps and myself, and then on the top we'd had Eric, Voki and Nose. My strategy was focused really on expansion, getting to that middle island quickly, capturing the building in the middle and then getting an ore refinery on there, because once I get an ore refinery in the middle, then I can start mining those gems. And that's a building you can see there that I'm going to need to capture, so I would be building an engineer after 15 riflemen. And because gems give you more resources than ore, my idea is that I'll have a big advantage over the other team. I'll be able to outproduce them in terms of tanks. I'll be able to defeat them. So that's Eric and Voki. And then I would go after that up to the top left and kill Nose before he kills my teammates on the left side. That was the plan anyway. The match started as planned. I got control of the middle, I got an ore refinery on there, started collecting the gems, and Eric had a few infantry, but they didn't really bother me at that point. Shortly after I went on the attack when I started producing medium tanks, and initially it seemed to be going quite well. I destroyed Voki's MCV that he'd brought to the middle island, and then I went for Eric's ore refineries. It was shortly after this that everything started to go wrong. I kept on going for his base, and he started getting more and more tanks, and those tank numbers started to build up. So even though I'd managed to, let's say, get rid of those ore refineries on the first middle island on his side, I didn't have the tank numbers to completely defeat him. And you can see Voki's ships are firing on me, and Eric's heavy tank numbers are growing. He's also managed to deploy an MCV on the outer island, which isn't connected by land. I did try to establish myself later on that island, but it turned out to be an absolute disaster. What happened was, well, you have Soviet-based defences, and Soviet-based defences are way stronger than Allied-based defences, and I just got annihilated. So that was a waste of a lot of resources on my part. Eric then started pushing me back on the middle part of the map. Our team ended up getting annihilated by the other team, and that was good game. So let's go back to the game this video is about. So this time I was starting in the bottom left, so I was on the left side of the map instead of the right. Eric was actually on our team for this match, because every match we do swap the teams around a little bit, just to keep it more interesting. Nose is on the other team, and he's on my side of the map. On our team we've also got Cyan, who's an unknown player, and we just put him on our team for balance purposes, just to make the teams more even and hopefully get a better game as a result. At the moment I'm sending infantry to the middle of the map to get a bit more visibility, see what the other players are doing, and see if we can fight for a bit more control. So what I'm going to do differently this time is I think I focused too much on expansion. And what I need to focus on first, or what I'm going to try and focus on first, is economy. Because even though you have gems in the middle of the map, I guess gems are like twice as valuable as ore. So let's say you have 3 ore trucks, you've got 2 ore trucks on ore, you've got 1 ore truck on gems, then that's going to be the equivalent of 4 ore trucks on ore. But let's say you had 5 ore trucks on ore, that would be better than having 1 ore truck, well, 2 ore trucks on ore and 1 ore truck on gems. So what I'm really focusing on this game is I'm going to go for double war factory, but I'm going to be producing 4 ore trucks before I start building any tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really build my economy, and before I focus on expansion and see how that plays out for me. We can see here Nose with the infantry. I'm just trying to put a little bit of pressure early on, because I know Nose on his side of the map, he has that building he can capture, and that could give him control of the middle. Anyway, I'm getting these ore trucks being produced. I'm now building my second ore refinery, which is also going to go in my starting position. I'm just having a quick look there just to see if Nose has got any buildings in the middle as of yet, because I do think he will be bringing an engineer down. And now we're starting to collect ore, but you can see I'm struggling a little bit because I've got that double war factory, so it's using up a lot of ore to produce those ore trucks. But as I get more ore trucks, hopefully my economy is going to shape up nicely. I've also got an extra ore refinery being produced as well, so it's going to give me a really strong boost to start with. And now I'm starting to produce those medium tanks, and I think what I should have probably done is like stop that first medium tank until my second ore refinery was complete. I've sort of put it too close to the barracks there, but I'm going to delete the barracks, and now we should have a decent economy going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce a service depot, because I do want to produce extra MCVs so I can start getting some middle control. I'm just having another look just to see what Nose is doing, but it doesn't look like there's been any movement on the middle as of yet. So the differences is I'm really focusing on producing more ore trucks right near the start, and now I'm getting these medium tanks into the middle. I've got my service depot, and I'm going to be able to produce an MCV. So I've started all this without even focusing on getting into the middle islands, and now I'm going to bring my medium tanks up, and I'm going to use this opportunity if I can to destroy that building. So let's see, Nose has got a medium tank there. That building was red HP, and I've just destroyed it. And because it was on red HP, what that sort of tells me is Nose had destroyed the building to red, and he had an engineer going to capture it. So that engineer will now be wasted resources, and I've got an extra MCV, and I'm moving it towards the middle. I've got a really strong economy at home. I'm able to produce a constant stream of medium tanks, and now I'm going to be able to squash those infantry and just pull back a little bit. I can see my teammate there, he's got a spy plane, so he must have built an airfield. Personally, I don't think Soviets are very good on this map, because a lot of it depends on water control personally, although Eric did play Soviets and I did get beaten by Eric, so maybe there's something there anyway. I guess they have Tesla if you can get your MCV deployed on other parts of the map. Now what you've seen me do is that I've took two of the ore trucks from my starting location, one into the middle and one onto the first island. I'm sort of like, this is the first time I was doing this strategy because I changed it in relation to my last match, which was why my ore truck was in the middle instead of being on the first island, because I wasn't initially planning on building a ore refinery there. But now I've got my MCV to the middle, I'm going to get an ore refinery in the middle island, and then I'll be able to start mining gems, which are very valuable. So I'm just going to fill up that ore truck before I deploy my ore refinery. Just put it on the side there. You can see I'm just waiting for some ore to come in, and now that ore refinery is going down and my ore situation should drastically improve. I just needed to get some of those ore trucks off the starting position, because obviously my teammates also need to be able to use a lot of ore from there. And now that I'm on the first island and I'm on the second island, I did a little bit of a mistake there by not redirecting my ore truck to that first island ore refinery, so it was going back to my original base, but all the others should be fine. And this gives me the opportunity to build a third war factory, which is really good because it's going to mean I'm going to have a much faster tank production, and you can see how much my ore is stacking up. I also produce an extra ore truck for the middle location because I really want to use all the ore and gems on that quite quickly, because if my enemies were able to gain control of the middle, then I want to use the resources up before they can do that. And now I'm building some naval yards, so I'm going to be able to build some boats in addition to my tanks, which have built up quite nicely. I'm also going to be building my radar dome and hopefully getting down a tech centre, because if I get the tech centre down, I'll be able to build cruisers. So there goes my radar dome, and I can see what's happening at the other side of the map. From the radar dome, I can see the other team have managed to get control of the middle on the other side of the map, but Eric's got a base on the outer island, which is good. So basically, they're probably going to be quite even at this point. And now I'm just using those naval yards with those destroyers to start doing damage to some of Nose's tanks. And we can see Nose pulling back. Also, Purple looks to be Purple was pulling back, I thought, but now he looks like he's going in for the fight. And I'm also getting hit by some cruisers off the other team in the middle of the ocean, so I'm going to go and try and find that cruiser as Purple comes across the bridge. He's trying to go through my medium tanks, and let's see how he fares. It doesn't look like he has enough tanks to really make too much damage, and we can see that Purple indeed does have that cruiser, and my destroyers will hopefully be able to deal with that no problem. I'm also building a turret just to sort of help me, and I'm also going to build some of my own cruisers. I'll just place the turret there for now, and we've managed to deal with that without too much trouble. And now we can see the whole map. So someone else has got a tech center very early, and that's given us satellite, so we can see all over the map what is going on. And quite interestingly, blue on the top of the map seems to be more active on the left side of the map, even though he started on the right side, and purple seems to probably be more active on the right side of the map, even though he started on the left. Anyway, now my cruisers are getting out. I'm able to fire on a nose, and now purple seems, is he going to come across again with some tanks? I don't think he has enough to do that, and I'm producing quite a lot of tanks there. But unfortunately, blue is building a navy on the very left of the map where my navy can't get to, and that's going to wreak some havoc on my tanks. So that's causing me a little bit of a problem at the moment. Whereas my cruisers are causing a bit of a problem to Nose's army, and the army's up at the top. But now purple is coming across, and this is putting me in a little bit of trouble. I've had to build an extra naval yard because I'm going to be building some destroyers quite quickly. I've also cancelled tank production for the time being because I think I have enough tanks to defend as the purple navy comes in, and this is causing me a little bit of a problem. He's got the cruiser that's going to try and take out my naval yards to slow my building speed, but it looks like we're going to be able to take out that cruiser, and we still have 3 naval yards left, so we should be okay for the time being. And now we're going in the fight against the destroyers of purple, and yeah, again he's bringing another cruiser through, so this is causing me a few problems. I mean, it seems to be quite even, but yeah, he just keeps on destroying those naval yards. I've managed to destroy some of the bases of purple, and I'm going to have to pull my tanks back because blue ships are firing at me from the top of the map, from the very top left side, and we continue to fight with purple. Those destroyers have got like a little bit of a stronghold at the moment, but they are surely but surely going down. And now I'm going to be able to destroy that final destroyer, and once I've got, well, he's bringing more reinforcements in, but now he's starting to pull back, and hopefully those cruisers will be able to provide me with a little bit of protection. And yeah, I'll just have them probably fire on those blue destroyers, which have caused me a bit of problems on the other side. Unfortunately, I can't get to them with my navy because of that like little pathway, and there goes my naval yard as well. So yeah, still destroying those naval yards, and purple is starting to build up his forces once again. So there's no point in me like possibly building the naval yards in the same place. I'm going to put them a bit lower in the map, and I'm going to start building destroyers, and hopefully going to be able to make a comeback against purple. So this game is appearing to become very naval orientated. We can see blue there on the left and purple on the right. And the problem is I can't fight 2 navies at once, especially when they're on different sides of the map. And there you can see blue bringing some ships in the middle, and we can also see green and red having a little bit of a fight there, but I'm getting my naval yard put up again. I've got my tanks numbers, they seem to be alright. But yeah, I'm just needing to focus on getting control of this middle part of the map. I've got 4 naval yards again, which is going to really increase my building speed of destroyers, and hopefully I'm going to be able to make a comeback against the navy of purple. But yeah, you can see there again, one of my naval yards is going down, so that'll be a cruiser firing on it. And we just have to have a look at where this is. I do need to build my destroyer numbers up though before I go in for the attack, because if I only bring in like 1 at a time, then they're just going to get destroyed very quickly. And now you can see them firing on my destroyer there. There's 2 destroyers of purple, but those 2 destroyers are going to be outnumbered, and I'm going to be able to get 2 easy kills here. So yeah, you can see them destroying that destroyer, but I'm going to be able to destroy that. And then yeah, so I've destroyed 2 of their ships, and they haven't even destroyed one of mine, so that was a good trade there. And now I'm going to go for the naval yards of purple. But what we can see happening on my side of the map is that pink are starting to come in through with their tanks. But first I want to get these naval ships out of the way, and we can see pink there, my teammates there also, trying to provide a bit of support. Let's see what we can do here. We're just trying to fire those, and we managed to destroy quite a lot of purple ships and naval yards. And now this is a fight here. Nose with the medium tanks. I've also got medium tanks, and my teammate has got heavy tanks and a couple of missile launchers. So we have to see how this goes. You can see that by now that ore patch is completely decimated, and I'm just trying to take over and destroy the last naval yard of purple, but purple has some navy at the side, and that's causing me a few problems. Now I've destroyed that naval yard, I'm going to be able to bring my ships through and try and destroy those ships there. I'm trying to keep my ships on the left side of the island so they take less damage, but I'm going to have to retreat, and I'm going to take my tanks to the first island because it looks like that middle part is lost, although it's not too much of an issue because it's ran out of ore and gems now, so it's not like the other team are going to get more resources. Although it doesn't look like I'm in a good position at the moment. Now my destroyer's engaging with purple. Purple doesn't have enough ships there, and he's going to lose all of them. But pink is in my base, and he's just destroying all my buildings. As I say, I'm going to lose that middle position to the other team. So let's destroy the final ships of purple and then see what we can do to defend. Unfortunately, my tech center is going to go down, which means I'm going to lose complete map visibility, so I can't see what's going on. I can see there's some green cruisers there, so obviously something's going on with the other teams in terms of navy, so hopefully we'll be able to do some damage there. But it looks like I'm getting pushed back. I've got my tanks located at the next entrance to the next island, and that's because what that's going to mean is, because it's like a little narrow path, Nose is going to have some tracking issues with his heavy tanks. But now I look at the first island and all my buildings are gone, and we can see that Blue has a navy there. So he's brought his navy down to my side of the map, and he's just destroyed some of those buildings. So obviously some of my ore trucks are not in a good position because they're going to have to long distance mine, and also those tanks on that bridge might be vulnerable. And I'm thinking about building a naval yard myself. I still have some resources, but now Pink's Nose's army is starting to push through, and this is bad. This is very bad for me. And what I can see at the bottom of the map is that Red have a navy there. So obviously some things aren't going too well in this part of the map for us, and now we're going to engage. So this is very important because I do need these destroyers south just to help me defend the entrance into my base. So let's engage with Red. We can see they've got some damage to their ships, which means they must have been in a battle beforehand, possibly with green because we saw them bringing some cruisers up. Let's see how this goes now. It's looking pretty bad for us though, but I think we might have the better numbers actually, so let's see how this goes. We're taking some destroyers down. It looks like we do have slightly better numbers. One of those ships is a cruiser, and as we take the destroyers down, you can see we are definitely getting the better numbers. The cruiser goes down, he's only got 3 destroyers left, and Red is on the run, but there's no way he can defeat this naval force, so I'm going to hopefully be able to provide some support. I'm just taking out a couple of buildings there because I can, like that large power plant, just do anything to help the teams on the right side of the map, my allies, and we'll take out that blue MCV. But now we can see that Nose is starting to push through to the final place in my base. I don't really have an answer for it at the moment. I'm just destroying that MCV, and I am going to need some real backup. And you can see green coming in and also orange. So that's Eric and Reaps. All players started on this starting island, so all the main base parts for every player are here. There'll be a lot of radar domes, tech centres, things like that. So it's very, very important that we can defend this point. I'm just having a look. I can't place my naval yard anywhere at the moment, and I might build some defences. And Nose now, he's bringing those medium tanks back to where those blue tanks are. What we're going to have a look at though is what actually happened earlier while this was going on. So, because I lost my tech centre, so I don't really know what's going on in other parts of the map. And we can see here Eric with 3 transport ships, and he's bringing it to the other island. And now he's unloading those, and he's got few tanks located in there. And he's going to bring those tanks up. He first goes for some of the ore trucks, and we also can see he's got an MCV there as well, so we'll have to see what is he able to do. The other teams haven't noticed him so far, and he's getting that MCV a bit further. It looked like some of the red tanks were going to attack there, but it was just automatic. Red hasn't seen him, and immediately he puts a Tesla coil down, and those are going to fire on those ore trucks and do some damage. So first of all, getting some defences, he gets a second Tesla coil down, and that's going to be a huge help against other tanks. And because he's got a multi-MCV, he's going to be building structures faster, so we'll see what he builds next. Now with a war factory, that is a good move because now he's going to be able to build tanks on the other side of the map. And this is like the top base where all the main base components for the other players are, and he's got a Tesla coil in there. He's also got an ore refinery now just to take some of the other team's ore. even though there's not much left at this point in the game. And now he's just ripping through Red's base, and there seems to be no opposition at the moment because all the other teams are focused on fighting in the middle of the map. And we can see there Red's construction yard going down, and now he's taking out a tech centre for Blue, and that's going to mean that Blue is going to have no map vision. And you can see they've got tanks there, but Green, Reaps, is at the other side of that gap, so it's not like Red and Blue can just go back to the main base. Otherwise Reaps will be able to push forward into the middle of the map. And now we can see Purple trying to mount some sort of challenge. He's now got 3 Tesla coils located back there, but Purple doesn't have the tank numbers, and Eric is able to keep on pushing forwards. And you can see what time this was, because that was when I was attacking the Purple naval yards. And now Eric is pushing forwards, and those Purple naval yard went down at that point, and their Reaps was bringing some cruisers forwards. But let's see what's going on here. Another Tesla coil's being built. He's just expanding, crawling that base forwards and forwards. And now Purple is starting to sell some of his buildings as he realises he can't stop this charge, and it's better to have the resources from the buildings rather than letting them get destroyed. And those Tesla coils doing a great job there, cleaning up any infantry coming forwards. And now that Blue service depot is going down, and we can see Purple selling more and more buildings, and Eric is just continuing to push forwards. And now he goes for Nose's tech centre. That tech centre is down, so Nose is going to have very low map vision. And there's also an MCV there, a gap generator. Those are also going to go down, and Eric just wiping up this top island of the other teams. And there's just nothing they can do at all. At this point, Nose is pushing down into the bottom of the map, and he knows there's no point in going back. He just needs to keep on trying to push forwards. And that radar dome now going down as well, and Eric's just cleaning up here. I think possibly Nose would be better selling here, but I guess it delays Eric's advance if he just lets those buildings go down. You can see Eric building another power plant, just crawling forwards, and his base is now spread across the whole of the North Island. It's just Eric's basically a stronghold for Eric now. He has lots of Tesla coils, he has war factories, he has an ore refinery there, so it's just an Eric stronghold, this top island now. And these are the last buildings going down on this side of the map, and now Eric has complete control. And now let's see, Eric's going to push onto that first island. We can see where the other players are because Nose has laid gap generators down, so we can't see what's going on, but that sort of shows us where their base is. And now Eric going for the construction yard, and now going for the ore refinery. And after Eric clears up this base, then Nose and Blue are going to be restricted to the resources on the outer island, which isn't connected by land. And yeah, Blue just selling up there. And what we'll do now is we're going to go back to the game view on my side of the map to see what was going on here. So this is when I had a look over and saw that Eric was destroying everything, and actually realised in fact Eric had the whole base, because obviously I didn't know that until this point, until I had a look there. And now we can see those boats doing a lot of damage, but I'm bringing my destroyers in as well, just trying to defend this point here. And those tanks of Nose are starting to get on very low HP, and it doesn't look like there's going to be enough. And you can see our trucks out of ore on that main island now, trying to go to that first island, but getting destroyed by those destroyers, so I'll need to make sure I've got some held back, otherwise I'm going to run out of ore entirely. And now we're just going to go for those blue destroyers who are doing quite a bit of damage. You can also see that Nose has built some destroyers of his own. Fortunately, they are sort of a bit restricted because they're on the other side of that path, so they can only be on the very left side of the map. And what that means is they're not going to be able to support the players on the right. It's just going to be able to defend their island. And now Reaps coming in with his tanks and clearing up Nose's tanks. So that's all of Nose's medium tanks gone. And if we remember, Eric's cleared up all the buildings on the left side and the main island. So what that means is that Nose has no more war factories connected to this island. The only way he'll be able to get any more tanks is if he builds a war factory on an isolated island and then brings them in through a transport ship. So now it looks like it's gone pretty well. And what I'll do is I'm going to go over to Eric's view, because it was much more interesting than what was going on at my base. So after Eric has taken out the left side of the map, now he's going to focus on the right side, and you can see him bringing all those tanks down. There's no response from the other team, and we see Red actually going to our main bases. So what he's aiming to do is he's going to try and take out our bases before Eric's able to take out theirs. But now he seems to be pulling back a little bit. He's got his destroyers in, and Eric is pushing forwards. He's ripping through those red buildings, and then he'll be moving on to Purple's base. And now we can see Orange go. Eric again, he's going to that outer island. So while he's been doing all that, he's actually got to the outer island as well, and he's got an MCV on there. So let's see what he can do now. This is like Nose's and Red's base, and he's got a Tesla coil down, and that's going to do great damage to those light tanks. He's also got a flamethrower down as well. He's got a barracks out, so he can produce infantry if he needs to, and those flamethrowers will do a great deal of damage to everything. And you can see those flamethrowers just destroying the last of the units there. There's nothing that Blue can do, and Blue sells up and is out of the game. So that's actually the first player to fall here, to be completely out of the game, and Nose is going to follow shortly. And Eric now selecting those tanks, and now he's going to go for that main island, middle island, where you can see Purple and Red are, but they haven't got much left at all. And now we see Nose there, his last few buildings there. Eric's got his tanks on, he's got his Tesla coil firing on them. So Nose should be out any time now. And now he's going for Red. That tech centre going down, so Red's going to lose his vision. Nose is now officially out of the game, and Red's going to be following shortly. And you can see Red selling up, and that's Red completely out of the game. And now it's just Purple left. And you can see he's just got a few buildings. He hasn't got any forces really to fight with. And yeah, he was pulling back. I don't know why he was pulling back there, but I don't know if he was trying to pull away from the ships or destroyers or something, but there's nothing that Purple can do here. He just has to watch his base get destroyed, those last few buildings. So Eric being the star of the show, so he beat me in the first match and stole all the limelight for the second match. As for the modifications to the strategy, I think the strategy worked quite well for me. I did get a lot of control early on. It's just I had multiple teams attacking me, and that's what forced me back and why I lost control. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.